Hello everyone, this is Shweta Patil from Department of ENTC, AISSMS, Institute of Information Technology, Pune. Today we will understand about the GSM architecture. So, what is a GSM? The definition of GSM can be GSM for mobile is a second generation cellular standard developed to cater voice services and data delivery using digital mobile. GSM is a standard which is developed by the European Telecommunication Standard Institute. Here is a history about the GSM. As I said, it was developed by the Group Special Mobile, founded in 1982, which was an initiative of CEPT. So under ETSI, GSM was named as Global System for Mobile Communication in 1989, and the full set of specification phase 1 became available in 1990. The phase 2 of the GSM specifications occurs in 1995. The coverage is extended to the rural areas also in 1995. GSM provide three different services: the tele services, the bearer or data services, and the supplementary services. In the tele services, it includes the telecommunication service that enables the voice communication via mobile phones, the offered services such as the mobile telephony and the emergency calls. In the bearer service, it includes various data services for information transfer between GSM and other networks like PSTN, ISDN, etc. It also provides the bearer services like the short message service and the voicemail box. GSM also provides the supplementary services which are related to the calls, such as the call waiting, which gives the notification of an incoming call while on the handset, the call hold, which puts a caller on hold to talk to another call barring, which is all outgoing call or incoming calls are barred. Call forwarding means call can be sent to various number which is defined by the user. Multi-party call conference, which means linking multiple calls together. The GSM network or the architecture, it can be divided into four major systems. First is called as the switching system, SS, then the base station system, BSS, and the mobile station, MS, and the operation and maintenance center. So the switching system is also called as the network and switching system, NSS, which is responsible for performing the call processing and subscriber related functions. So here we have the GSM system architecture, which is divided into MS, BSS, and NSS. We will have a look at it one by one. So first one is the mobile station. So mobile station, it is referred or it is made up of two entities, the mobile equipment and the subscriber identity module. So mobile station, it refers to the terminal equipment which is used by the wireless subscriber. SIM, it is a removable and with appropriate SIM. The network can be accessed using various mobile equipments. The equipment identity, it is not linked to the subscriber. The equipment is validated separately with IMEI and EIR. The SIM contains an integrated circuit chip with a microprocessor, random access memory and a read-only memory. The functions of mobile station are radio transmission and reception, radio channel management, speech encoding and decoding, flow control of the data, and mobility management. Then we have the base station subsystem. The base station subsystem connects the mobile station and NSS. BSS, it is composed of the base transceiver station, which is also called as base station, and the base station controller. BTS and BSC communicate across the standardized ABIS interface. BTS is controlled by BSC, and one BSC can have many BTS under its control. The base transceiver station, that is the BTS house the radio transceiver and handles the radio link protocol with the mobile station. And the base station controller, it manages the radio resource for one or more groups of BTS. It also handles the radio channel setup, frequency hopping, handovers, and control of the RF power level. Then we have the NSS, network switching system, which is also called as the switching system. So it consists of the following functional unit. First is the mobile switching center. So mobile switching center performs all the switching functions for all mobile stations located in the geographical area controlled by its assigned BSS. It also interferes with PSTN, with other MSCs and other system entities. Next is the home location register, HLR. The home location register contains the identity of mobile subscriber, which is called the International Mobile Sub Identity. ISDN directory number of mobile station, the subscription information of services, and the location information for call routing. So one HLR per GSM network is recommended, and it may be a distributed database. Permanent data in the home location register is changed by the man-machine interface, and temporary data like location information, it changes dynamically in the home location register. After that, we have the visitor location register. The visitor location register is always integrated with the MSC. So when a mobile station roams into a new MSC area, the VLR connected to that MSC, it requests the data about the mobile station from the home location register, and after that, if the mobile station makes a call, the VLR has the information needed for call setup without having to interrogate the HLR each time. Next is the Equipment Identity Register, EIR. Equipment Identity Register, it consists of the identity of mobile station equipment, which is called as International Mobile Equipment Identity, IMEI, which may be valid, suspected, or prohibited. When a mobile station accesses the system, the equipment validation procedure is evoked before giving the service. The information is available in the form of three lists. One is the white list, where the terminal is allowed to connect to the network. Second is the grey list, where the terminal is under observation from the network for the possible problem. and the blacklist, where the terminal reports a stolen are not type approved. After that is the authentication center. So authentication center is associated with an HLR. It stores an identity key which is called the authentication key for each mobile subscriber. The operation and maintenance center, its functional entity is through which the network operates, can monitor and control the system by performing some of the functions like software installation, traffic management, the performance data analysis, configuration management, subscriber administration, management of mobile equipment, management of charging and billing. So, the centralized operations of the various units in the system and the functions are needed to be maintained by the subsystems. This was about the GSM architecture. Thank you.